Power outages can range from a mild inconvenience to a life or death challenge, and unfortunately, they're becoming more common and more severe. If you're worried about the power grid's reliability, a backup power system may be exactly what you need. Also, if you own or operate a business, you need to have a plan in place for any type of emergency situation, including major storms and power failures. Most commercial facilities don't have sufficient backup and power supply to keep your facility running should the power go out. But what about another thing we're becoming more and more dependent on for information in business? The internet. Today, I'm going to share something with you that will help you address both those issues. So let's get into it. All right, folks, welcome back. So today I have something that's really unique and innovative. And I have been playing around with this now for the better part of probably 2 or 3 months. And I got to say, I'm really impressed with it as far as what it does and the service it provides. Now, most of the time when I reviewed power stations, they're just that, power stations. Brute force power to run stuff around your house. That's simple. Not the case with the NIKOTA Meta 2000. This one has internet access built into it. Now, yes, you can use this in a variety of configurations. As a Wi-Fi router, it does have ports on the back. You will need a SIM card for the independent access to it, but this can also be used as a router in your home right off your internet cable box and plug it in there and plug in your computers to it. So this is a pretty darn impressive system. All in all, it's probably one of the most unique power systems I've seen that supports 5 and 4G networks. So we're going to take a quick look at it on the back, and I have it set up so we can just spin it around here. You'll notice the antennas here. You have two 4G antennas, 3 4G antenna, 5G antennas. You have a Wi-Fi antenna and a 2.4 and a 5.8 gig antenna. You also have your RJ45 ports here. This is where you would plug in your wide area network. In other words, the cable coming off your cable modem, and you can plug in your computers all through here. So for me, a system like this is invaluable. I mean, even if my router were to die, I can use this thing as a router, and it is highly configurable. This thing has more features in it as far as the router goes than most high-end routers do. I was really impressed with it. Now, you'll notice over here I have covered up the IMEI number on there. For security reasons, I just put a piece of tape over it. But this is where your SIM card is going to go. Little system lights down here. It'll show you when you're connected to 5G, 4G power, and your system light. And that is your router button here that you're going to be turning on. While we're on the back of this, I figure I'll show you this. This is your input for your AC and DC power. And we are going to be charging this up with a solar panel after we run a few tests on it. I really want to focus more on the internet end of things on this, because that's what I think is really, really impressive on this. Given how dependent we've become on the internet for communications with family, even disaster communications, having something like that is pretty darn awesome. If you were to lose internet in your town for some reason, and it's happened a ton of times where I live here in Nevada, somebody will run over a fiber optic cable with a backhoe and we're out of internet for 2 or 3 days. You can still function. You can still get your email. You can still communicate with other people. And for a remote power station that I can take with me and charge with a solar panel, I can also have internet access wherever I go. Very important for us hams that might think about using Echolink or any other type of internet connected type system. So all in all, I'm really impressed with it. It does have a light, and I can turn this blue light on. You'll notice that blue light goes all the way around. I can turn it on or off. It doesn't matter. On the side here, you just have a regular normal light, okay, with a SOS feature on it. Over here, you have a mosquito repellent type light. It's very bright and yellow. Okay. You do have 2 charging ports on top for your phone. Not ports, but basically places where you'll place your phone to charge it. Get my other phone here. I have one phone that I use for demo and one phone that I use is actually my phone. This one actually has the wireless charging. So basically what you're going to do is stick this up here and it will start charging. And there we go. That thing is charging. Fast wireless charging, full in a few minutes. So that's pretty darn impressive. Same with over here. So in the meantime, you'll notice that thing's going on up there. In the meantime, while you got everything else running here, you can charge your cell phones as well. Very, very neat system. The unit itself is very well constructed. You have these nice rubberized handles Now, the battery chemistry on it, I know everybody's going to ask me about that right off the bat. The battery chemistry is NMC, or nickel manganese cobalt batteries. They're a little bit higher energy density than the LiFePO4 batteries, and that's why many companies still use them. They do work well. You are still going to get 3,000 full recharges out of this. And I mean, if you don't use this every single day, that's up to like 10 years worth of use, okay? So definitely a nice power system and a nice battery backup that also offers a very unique feature. Now, one of the nice things about this is you also can configure this router. Now, unfortunately, I didn't bring a laptop out here, but I do have a larger screen phone here that I can show you. You can connect to this router via your local IP address. It's a 192 type address. This, in my case, is 192.168.100.1. And you will be able to, I know that's really, really small, but you can see all of the different, this is just basic information about the item, okay? You got your 4G, 5G, Meta 2000. I'm connected to this, of course, okay? And that's the current month flow, 16 megs. So there you go. You have a system status here, which I can click. There we go. It's in English, operating mode, version, all that. We can go to the network here, and you've got your LAN settings, your IP MAC configurations, your wide area network settings, your URL filter, port forwarding, DMZ, and firewall. That's impressive for what this is. APN setting, APN list, your network selectivity, your flow assistant, and your disconnected devices. And you can show here all of the different information on there. Okay, you have your system management, passwords, and everything. You can change your passwords, your local time. I haven't set up anything on this really yet, so I've set it to Pacific time there. And again, I know it's really hard to see. It's just on my phone there. Anyway, you do have a ton of configurability, if you could say that, in this particular unit. And it's really, really impressive to me. I got to say, I really have to say, I'm going to skip that setup wizard. I don't want to do that yet. I really have to say I've never seen something like this where it not only can power your house, but take care of your internet access as well. And if you want to see, I mean, right now I'm connected to the router there at the bottom. I don't know if you can see the address, but let's just do something silly and go to Google, okay? Clicking on Google here, and Google comes up. Now, this is connected through a Chinese telco company. That is going to change in the future. I spoke to them about that. I expressed my concerns about it. And they're like, they're dealing with the vendor and the card. So you can talk to them about that, or you can just buy your own IoT internet access type card and use it. You know, Verizon has them, everybody has them. They just sent this along with me. It worked very, very well. And so that's what I did. So I am going to eventually change that out. That was just the card they sent me to demo this with. I'm probably going to add a card from my plan on Verizon and do it that way. So there's tons of internet access cards. So if you see that, don't be concerned. That's what it's all about. So let's talk a little bit about the charging power of this. Okay, this comes with two 12-volt USB-A ports, two 18-watt USB-A ports, two 65-watt USB-A Type-C ports, and three 2,000-watt AC ports. Okay, you do have one 12-volt 10-amp DC port as well. When you turn this stuff on, I want to turn that on. Okay, I turned the light off, but I just did that to wake the display up. We're going to push and hold this, and you will notice it says AC out. It also clicks. You'll hear the inverter clicking on. We're going to push and hold the DC. There we go. So you have the USB Type-C and DC, and you're pulling about 13 to 15 watts. It'll settle down eventually. What it's trying to do, the battery management system is trying to figure out about how much it needs to do all this stuff, and it will settle down eventually. So you do have a little 12-volt, 10-amp DC, I think 3.5 millimeter plug up top there. So what I want to do with this is power a few things. I'm not going to go nuts with this. I am going to maybe power a window AC unit, maybe my little coffee maker, and try it out and see how I like it. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, I've tested this before and I've done this before, and it does work very, very well. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you on camera. The first thing I'm going to do is the hairdryer, the heat gun, and we'll show you how that works. All right, so I've got the heat gun plugged in here. We're going to try it on low. And you will see that goes up from about 468, 549, 611. So we're about 700 now, 730. And this does go up slowly. It also comes down very slowly. I believe the technology in it just kind of lets it kind of go up and down very slowly and not a quick ramp up. Turn that back on again. I wish there was a way to stop the timeout on that. So let's take it up to high and see what it does. We're at 986, 1000, 125. And we're just ramping it up. And you'll notice, you see it has a remaining time for 1 hour. You'll notice this doesn't suffer in any dip or any kind of drain when you turn it on first. So I'm definitely impressed with the unit. Now watch, it comes down very slowly. I'm definitely impressed with the unit. I do like the little display here, although that has changed in the final version. And there will be some spec changes on this. This is on Kickstarter right now. The links down below will show you the different areas on Kickstarter where this will be available for pre-purchase. I believe the price, once all the Kickstarter stuff is said and done, is going to be, with your discount, around $1,200, which really isn't bad for what you consider for what this thing is. I mean, I can sit here when I lose power, and especially as a YouTuber, let me tell you, when I lose power here and I've got a video ready to upload, there is absolutely nothing worse than going, I just lost internet access. So to have a backup like this, really cool. For journalists, for people who are out in the field, maybe you're an aspiring journalist and use YouTube as your way to update news. Something like this is amazing. You can be remote and literally broadcast live wherever you are. So definitely a cool little system with that in mind. I'm definitely impressed with it. Now, we're going to try the coffee maker out on this really quickly. And I like using a coffee maker because it does draw a lot of power. Now, yes, there's plenty of other ways to make coffee and a disaster. It's just good for showing you how much power it will use. So we're going to plug that in, and we're going to try it out. And we're also going to try out the heat gun while we got that in there and see if we can push this to its limits a little bit. This does have a 3,000 watt peak, so when you plug something in that may take 1,800 watts, it will bump up maybe to 2,800. It'll take that and then come right back down to its 1,800 watts. So you are safe with a spike on that. For that. So let's get this all set up and try it out. All right, so I've got this all set up, and hopefully that screen doesn't time out on me. First thing I want to do is turn on the coffee maker. And again, yes, I'm aware there's plenty of ways in which you can, it always times out when the darn thing turns on. Plenty of ways you can make coffee. So we got 500 watts there. Let's pop this guy on. So between the coffee maker and this, we've got 1,200 watts. I have a radio charging here in the USB port, 14. Obviously, it can take it. So I'm going to turn this off. We're going to make some coffee, and this will fluctuate up and down. It goes down to 0, then heats the water, then goes down to 0. So you will see that over time. But we're going to set this up and see what it tastes like. Get a cup of coffee made there, and see if it could brew the whole thing. I do get 2 hours of coffee making time. Again, I use it because it's a hydrating device, not because there's no other way to make coffee. So after that, we'll test it out on a mini fridge and see how it does there. And we'll go from there. All right, we're getting coffee. The output has dropped. It's making coffee. So definitely works well. Let's try it out on something real quick. Then we're going to try and charge it up because you see we're at 97%. Try and top it off with a 200 watt panel and see how it does. All right, so I left the fridge unplugged for about 25 minutes or so. Came back, plugged it in. It did shoot up to, there it is, timing out on me again. There we go. It did shoot up to 420 and then shot right back down again, so it obviously wasn't cold enough. But you can see with the intermittency of the freezer that it will run it, no problem at all. And it will run it for, got 43, 42 hours about, and then it will kick on and go up, and it went down to about 4 hours, and then it went down because it was cold enough. So the quicker you get this on to your freezers, your deep freezers, your refrigerator, the quicker it will work. So with the battery at 96%, which it just rolled down to, I want to show you something neat quickly on the desk about the charging from an AC circuit, or an AC wall plug, and then we're going to plug in the panel, and then we'll wrap up. All right, really quickly, I want to show you the accessories before I explain to you the charging. You do have a wall charging cable, okay? The charge controller is inside. Your transformer, all that stuff is inside, so there's no big box to plug in. You can jump start your car with this battery, okay? You'll plug this into your thing there and plug that to connect that to the battery and jump start your vehicle. So they do give you that. And of course you have your 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter plug where you can plug in with the Anderson pole on the back of the unit and charge it. Again, make sure you're doing that while you're driving. You do have a nano SIM adapter for any kind of SIM card you're going to stick in there. They gave me that and I had set it all up. And of course your warranty and your instruction manual. All right, let's show you the charging. Now just quickly here, I'm showing you the charging, okay? I do have it plugged into that power strip in the back. You'll notice it's at about 520, 400, around there. When you turn on your AC inverter, you will notice that the charging jumps up. It becomes the fast charging. One of the things I like about that is because you don't always need to fast charge your battery. It's very hard on the battery, and when you don't need to do it, why overdo it? So I'm going to demo it really quick. I don't want to demo it for too long because I know I'll have a 15 amp circuit out here, and I don't want to screw anything up because I already have a lot of stuff running on it. So let's just kick it on here real quick. Probably see the lights dim. There we go. So you see it's jumping up and doing a fast charging, and it will be charged in 3 minutes as opposed to an hour. So there you go. I'm going to take it back off there. There, you know, the lights just got brighter. Yeah, my garage is not wired up for that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's do it on the solar panel and see how that works out and see what that's like. Now again, I'm going to be using a 200 watt solar panel. I'm going to put it outside in the sun, and we're going to see what that looks like when it's charging up that way. So right about now, you're probably looking at this going, what the heck? You got a 200 watt panel connected there. How come you're not getting any kind of power in? Well, because it's not doing fast charging. Let me change that. All right, I'm seeing 59, 76, 129, 140, 150. So I would suggest, if you're using a panel, unless you're using the maximum of 300 watts, that you turn that AC output on. It is a pass-through system, so you can use it while you're charging it. But we're up to 184, so it's doing its job, and we're going to let that charge up and see how long that takes to get it topped off all the way to 100%. See you in a few minutes. So amazingly enough, in about 15 minutes, I literally went in to put some stuff inside and came back out, and we were back up to 100%. Very, very impressive. I do like the fast charging. Let me turn that off, though, for now. I do like the fact that you have that fast charging ability, and the minute you turn that on, it just jumps right away. But you can turn it off as well, and that is really cool. Because fast charging can be very hard on your batteries, so you don't always want to do that. So definitely a cool little unit. I'm going to give you specs here really quick. Now, according to their specs, the power station can be charged to 80% in just 1 hour and fully charged in 1.5 hours. That's using either 300 watts of solar panels or plugged into the wall directly, one or the other. You got 2,000 watts of power. It can handle 13 items at a time. It is a full featured router and Wi-Fi access point. The weight on it is 33 pounds. It is 14.7 inches by 9.8 by 10.6 inches. You got a capacity of 2,016 watt hours. Okay. Your 4G and 5G Wi-Fi is completely supported from the back there. So whatever's in your town, whether you have 4G or 5G, you'll be fine. You have a 2,000 watt pure sine wave inverter to surge to 3,000 watt. And your car charger is a regulated 12 volt outlet with a 10 amp max. We went over the battery chemistry again. That's used as a lighter and a little bit more energy dense thing other than the lithium iron phosphate. So that's why they use it. So some of the specs may change. Again, this is a Kickstarter. You do have a link down below where you can sign up and get in on that Kickstarter. Okay. You can check it out and you can save a percentage if you sign up for the Kickstarter right there on the website. So I'm going to give you both links, both the Kickstarter and NIKOTA Power's website, where you can sign up for it as well. And if you want to get involved with Kickstarter, you can do that too. All in all, a good deal, I would say. With the discounts and the sign up there, you'll probably see around $1,200. Now for the access point, the router and all that, and the 5G and 4G access with a SIM card and the unit itself, definitely cool. And I've been testing this a while. This thing has run my fridge. It's run my microwave. It's done a bunch of stuff. So it's definitely a neat little system. And I can say with confidence that you're going to be pleased with it. all in all, not super heavy, 33 pounds, I'm sorry. I'm so used to wattage and amperage. You do have these nice rubberized handles, makes it very easy to carry around. Anyway, folks, links will be down below for the Kickstarter and their website, as well as all of our other links. We have our Amazon affiliate store. Please check out the store. A lot of the stuff that I use in the channel will be in that store. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesaler link. You can save 15% by using that link, so definitely check that out. We have our My Patriot Supply link down there, preparewithiridium.com. If you're interested in picking up a lot of freeze-dried food quickly, okay? And for the 25-year shelf life, $250 off a 3-month kit and $50 off a 4-week kit. And also, you can go there and just buy a bunch of stuff individually and check it out and see if you like it. I always suggest people do that. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store as well. Thank you to all our new consultants this month. I want to thank you guys for signing up. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay powered up, and stay prepared.